Take Action is an 8-week class sponsored by Disability Link. Throughout the 8-week process, we have gotten in touch with our inner advocates and created the night of art and advocacy that you are now partaking in. We are pleased to present the following video. Enjoy! What is advocacy?
Advocacy to me is standing up for something that you are very passionate about. A cause for oneself or for a group. Wanting to fight the fight to get your goal accomplished.
Advocacy is fighting for or against something that you may believe in it, or you may believe that it's something that should be done away with, but it's pushing for some sort of change, and that happens in a variety of ways.
Advocacy to me is simply putting actions in place to fight for things that you believe in, whether it's on behalf of yourself or someone else, trying to make effective change through legislation, directly with businesses with their day-to-day operations. This is just basically fighting for those things that will be helpful and that where you see need to be changes made.
Advocacy is speaking up or writing for one's own self, and also speaking up and writing for others for their own rights, for their own welfare.
Advocacy is living. It's taking what belongs to you, the right to be, to do, to try, to see, to taste, all those things. That's what advocacy is. It's putting yourself in the driver's seat of your own life.
What is your experience with advocacy?
I'm getting famous for calling myself the reluctant advocate. And it's such a dichotomy, because reluctant or not, once you wake up to the fact that you need to be an advocate and you can be an advocate, all of a sudden you're advocating everywhere you go. So the reluctant, I may have to shake that after a while. But, well, my experience has really accelerated in the last year. I'm doing all kinds of things, just speaking up for myself, standing with other people when they have concerns, and even, getting behind larger things. Right now, I'm advocating for immigration reform. So even though I'm a person with a disability and have been learning about advocacy with other persons with disabilities, the advocacy skills, they reach into the regular non-disabled, or what are we calling those people? Able? Into the larger world.
Well, I've done advocacy now for a fourth time with MARTA, where they habitually get me late on their routes, where I had to call the superintendent of supervisors to get them to correct their schedule in order to pick me up at the time they're supposed to pick me up.
I have absolutely no experience with advocacy other than advocating for myself just in day-to-day life. I don't personally have a disability. I actually came to this class to support my mom, who wanted to take the class, and so I don't really have any formal advocacy training, but I have enjoyed this class and I've learned a lot. And so moving forward, I will be trying to come up with some areas that I can utilize some of my newfound skills.
My experience with advocacy was an experience I had on the MARTA bus where I was injured, and I filed a claim like one would do when they are injured on MARTA, and the claim was turned down and denied, and I, as an advocate for myself, proceeded to stand up and write a letter to the CEO of MARTA explaining my experience, and I advocated that they go ahead and look at the situation, and hopefully a decision would come out that was different from the first. In doing so, I wanted this out there that had happened, thinking about others who could be in the same situation.
So far, I would say my experience with advocacy, at least in a formal sense, has been very limited. I have not had a diagnosed disability for very long, so at least in terms of advocating that has to do with that, I would say I'm very green. I think probably the most significant thing I've done so far in my advocacy efforts was getting the physician that I now have changed, because I thought the person who I was having to deal with at first was not the best person for me, and was not someone who had my best interests and the best treatment for me in mind. So I had to advocate, to get that person changed. If I had not said anything, if I had not done anything, I'd still be with that same doctor who didn't really seem to know what he was talking about.
How has this class changed your views of advocacy?
Well, it's changed my views in that people have a right to stand up for what they believe in and what they can do for themselves and others.
Well, it not necessarily has changed my view of advocacy, because I knew what basically the technical term was, but what it has done for me as an individual who does not necessarily have a disability, it has made me more sensitive in the way that I speak about persons with disabilities, and some of the things that I was not aware of that might be offensive, or just not even knowing, some of the protocols of dealing with certain persons that may be blind, or just have other disabilities in general. So it's made me a little bit more sensitive and aware of things that are insulting to them, or things that they like and maybe don't like.
This course has changed my views on advocacy, because it let me know that there are some people out there that will listen. Whether you get the results you are seeking, if someone listens to you, I think is all the more important. But to just dismiss you totally, I think is the wrong thing to do. It makes you feel like it's worth trying.
Well, this course has been a great experience for me. I would say that the way that I've been most changed has come through getting to know the other participants in the group. Such a really wide variety of disabilities were in the room with us. And I learned so much about people and challenges and situations that I wasn't familiar with. I guess I could liken it to racial groups. I was really familiar with people who had visual impairments or blindness, because that was my own situation. But sitting at the table with people different from myself was very rich and gave me a broader perspective on advocacy. It's really kind of it's not just about me, that the world is just a lot bigger than my small piece of it.
I would say probably this course really told me what advocacy was. I don't think I really knew what it was before this course, it was nice to have a firmer understanding of what exactly it is. I had a really vague idea of what advocacy was in the first place before I took this course.
How can people become more involved advocates?
Advocacy, there are so many areas where one can advocate. Talking with family members, just looking around and paying attention to the environment. There's always something that needs to be improved upon, and anybody looking for something where they can make a difference, you can make a difference just about anywhere you put your mind to it.
People can become involved by, one, joining one of the independent advocacy groups. I think there are 9 of them here in Georgia, and I think they're very useful in helping people who want to be advocated for get what they want.
Well, the first step is the wake up, the same way that I had to wake up. I considered myself independent and decently smart, capable, so I could handle my life and the challenges that came into it. And even though I wasn't calling it advocacy, acting on my own behalf, I was doing a decent amount of that. But moving into the larger world of advocacy, where it's not just you, but it is larger areas of concern, that requires the wake-up call, moving from a very ego-centered look at your own capabilities to how do my capabilities fit into the larger world.
I would say being more aware of your surroundings, what's going on in your communities, in government, if you want to do it on a larger scale, read the newspaper, watch the news, talk to other people who are involved in advocacy, whether it be, an organization like Disability Link or really anything. Be aware of what's going on in your life, situations that you may be unhappy with or that you may be happy with, that you want to advocate for them to stay, or if you want to advocate for them to change. Talk to other people. Ask them what's going on in their lives. There may be someone who needs your advocacy.
Thank you for watching and supporting Take Action and Disability Link. The class would like to thank Ken Mitchell, Lori Renfro, and Paul McLennan, who facilitated the course and helped make it a rewarding experience. For more information about the next Take Action class, email Ken Mitchell or call 404-687-8890 extension 103.